The villa, along with the park and the model farm, is the result of the shared vision of entrepreneur Alessandro Rossi and his trusted architect Antonio Carregaro Negrin. Like many other distinguished clients before him, the entrepreneur imagined a place perfectly matched to his temperament and desires. The house in front of you, the park behind you, the fields and the farm. The latter with both productive and educational purposes. All the different aspects come together in perfect harmony. The personal sphere blends with the domestic sphere, which in turn interacts smoothly with the public dimension of work and relations. On the one hand, the town of Santorso with its rural memory. On the other hand, Mount Sumano with its rich spiritual heritage. In addition to the main sanctuary, the hillsides were dotted with votive shrines, of which some archaeological traces still remain. In the spring of 1865, Rossi purchased Villa Bonifacio Velo in Santorso from the Prosdocmi family. It was a modest rural residence from the 16th century, consisting of a main body and an arcaded barn, the so-called barchessa, both in poor conditions. Architect Carregaro Negrin reorganized the whole structure, greatly extending the living quarters by adding 2 side buildings. The symmetrical facade became a scenographic feature of great impact, combining decorative elements inspired by different historical periods. The variety of pictorial and plastic motifs reflects the eclectic taste in vogue during the Risorgimento, and in some respects anticipates Art Nouveau. The architect devised an unusual iconographic program, symbolically depicting his client. And so the monumental front door is not guarded by proud lions, but by statues of meek merino sheep, whose fleece contributed to the family wealth. A seemingly bizarre but deeply meaningful choice, also as far as the owner's sense of hospitality was concerned. The main house and the adjacent barchessa are decorated with Pompeian-style frescoes by Friulian painter Vincenzo Giacomelli. In order to understand the reasons behind this choice, we must remember the historical context in which Alessandro Rossi's project was developed. In an area where everything was reminiscent of the ancient cult of Summanus, an important Roman deity, the entrepreneur wanted to honor this ancestral heritage, kept alive by archaeological remains from the distant past. There was another reason for choosing the Pompeian style, a purely patriotic reason, as a matter of fact. This romantic revival celebrated the roots of the Italian nation and its lost glory. In a time heavily influenced by the ideals of the Italian Risorgimento, Rossi hired 2 like-minded artists to tell a visual story imbued with the values of their generation, witness and advocate of the country's unification. If you move towards the more rustic barchessa, where Carregaro Negrin preserved most of the existing structure, you'll find more decorative elements, closely tied to Italic myths, in line with the style of the rest of the house. The architect also added an arcade with a fountain featuring the allegorical representation of Summanus, a sort of genius loci or guardian deity of the place. Sculpted by Slovenian artist Valentino Zajic, this monumental fountain symbolically stands on the northeast corner of the building, leading the eye towards the ancient temple of Summanus.